AB on.
We are Flake Rose and Spears, and we are supremely black. This week we have a special guest with us, Miss Tanya, joining us on today's conversation. So we're gonna get to it like we normally do. How y'all week been this week, fellas, and Miss Tanya?
Hey, my week been good. Can't complain, man. Hey, we locked in doing these comedy shows, doing our thing. About time this is released, the day it will be released. I will be in Columbia, South Carolina at the Comedy House. So if y'all pull up and you in that South Carolina area and you watch this Saturday morning, hey, pull up to the Comedy House, man. 4-piece no biscuit tour still going on. I'm gonna be there to tear y'all mouth out. Then right after that, we headed to Chicago, man. So everything been great, been a blessing. Homecoming coming up for my daughter. It's gonna be her first high school homecoming. She was up for homecoming court, didn't quite get in. We think it's kind of fishy on who was selected, but it's all good. We're gonna come back next year. We're gonna come back next year for that homecoming court, man. But everything been great, man. What about yourself, D-Rose?
Man, I can't complain. It's been a very solid week. We going through the bipolar weather down here in Houston, so I don't know if I need to turn on the air or turn on the heat. So it's just kind of what it is, man. But just from a mental standpoint, in a great space, nothing but wins going on. So I can't complain. Physically been still working out, getting it in. Yeah, man. Blessed. I'm here. So to our special guest, Miss Tanya, how are you this week? How's everything going?
I am doing very well, fantastic, blessed, happy to be here, excited about the conversation. It is something that is near and dear to my heart as I work to help inspire and encourage people. It definitely flows. So I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Talk to us, Spears. How you rocking, brother?
Thank you for joining us. My week been good, just grinding, trying to figure out this sleep schedule, working these 2 jobs and stuff right now since I'm in grind mode. But other than that, my week been good. To be honest, overslept today, so I didn't even go into the part-time job, but it is what it is. But outside of that, things are going well. Everything's on the up and up. So yeah, everything's good with me. So if Flake, you want to pop this conversation off, or Rose, you gonna jump into it?
No, I just had one thing to say though. You know they say when you start getting plenty of money, boy, you just don't care how you sleep, what you miss out on, anything. Like, it must be nice, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't need an alarm clock. I know the bill gotta be paid. It must be nice, man. It's good to see it, brother. Good to see it.
Tell when I'm getting money.
Hey, I wanted to say something because I wasn't on last episode. I like the way you tried to bait Flake into the Cowboys versus 49ers, but we didn't go hard on you with that 70-20 L that y'all took earlier this year against Miami. But okay.
I don't, yeah.
You don't know nothing about it. You boycotting, I forgot.
Yeah, you're right, man. Free Kaepernick, man.
Hey, Spears, I'm going to tell you what else crazy. We won this past week. Ain't nobody called my phone.
Yeah,
we lost to the 49ers.
Who watches football if y'all win, bro? Nobody.
We lost to the 49ers. I'm talking about my phone. I'm talking about mean after mean, text after text, call after call. We beat the Chargers. You couldn't hear a rat pissing on cotton.
It'd be like that.
But anyway, let's get to it. Let's get into it. Has everybody heard our conversation last week as we talk about the male versus female wars and relationship wars that seem to be clouding and flooding our social media? We got your text messages, we got your inbox, we got your DMs. I got some of y'all messengers. We got your YouTube message. Y'all asking that we bring a lady on here. Who wants to hear 2 knucklehead Ash and me and talk about this? They want a lady perspective. That's pretty much what y'all wanted, and we bring it to y'all this week. I'm still gonna stand on my stance, y'all. Basically, I don't believe in the clout that's going on social media or this real hatred between black men and black women. And the reason why is because of my real life experience and everybody I'm surrounded around. And it could be my caged experience. It doesn't seem that way. Or you get the one dude that's talking that mess But then you find out when that girl call the phone, hey, I got to go. I got to get this call, bro. I hold on. I thought it was F them hoes and them bees 30 seconds ago. she done hit the line up. You all soft and tender on the phone. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm going with it. I'm gonna stick with my thought of is more focused on what's in your pocket and what's between your legs than a real love of sitting on that porch when you 60, 70 years old, 50, 40 years old, and can y'all have a conversation? Can you sit down? Can you sit down and have a conversation? Like during the pandemic, we found out a lot of people was in it for the wrong thing when they had to sit there with each other for 24/7. A lot of divorces was getting kicked out. But anyway, so we brought Miss Tanya on. We brought Tanya on to hear her side of, to hear a Black woman's side of the story and see how everything is going. All right. So Miss Tanya, what is your thoughts? What is your thoughts on what we see? Because most of we seeing this online, you know, and it's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of, I think it's a lot of worm being put on the hook. It's a lot of bait out there to get people to react a certain way. And I think people are overreacting to get, watch my podcast. I need 1 million likes on this. I think that's where a lot of it's coming from.
I really hope it is just for baiting and trying to get attention. It's really sad, the dynamics in our community, the Black community. I believe that the hate is real. I don't think it's fake. I think it's very real. I think people go out of their way to be rude to each other nowadays. I think that we need to stop as individuals, like take accountability for what we've done. Go heal. If you got an issue with all of this particular group because it reminds you of your mother, your father, whomever, go get therapy for your issues with your mother and your father. We're putting all of that on everybody. And if something is not your cup of tea, you don't even have to speak on it. But the fact that people seem to go out of their way to be rude speaks to the heart posture of our society nowadays, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely like your perspective. I agree with you on the healing part, and I think people trauma bond. I will say this though, not that I disagree with you, that I think is real. I just think people look for attention on social media. So to say the most ignorant thing or look for the likes and trying to be the funniest, people truthfully do it. But a lot of men and women are like Flake, like, hey, hold on, let me answer this call. Girl, you see him calling, so it's really just it's an act on social media for the people that are the onlookers, you know what I'm saying? So I agree with you on that. Now, I know Spears last week, he was handling some business and didn't get to really chime in with the conversation. What's your thoughts before we go into in depth even more with the conversation?
I'm gonna try to summarize it because I know we're gonna get deeper into the conversation, but then also I don't want to repeat a lot of things that may have been said last week. So my thing is, and you hit on it because I was about to say this, a lot of people are attention seeking and looking for a fan base or a liking, a following, a cult following, or so to speak. But then the other thing about it is too, there are some people who are actually afflicted and affected by past relationships, by their nurturing system, how they was brought up in this world and their community and everything. But the thing that Miss Tanya said that speaks volumes is deal with that. A lot of people don't want to be accountable for their actions with their relationship choices, with how their relationship goes, the things that they play into the relationship and the dynamic of that. And if we don't be accountable for our own actions, we're going to keep pointing the fingers at the opposite sex. One thing that y'all did hit on last week is you go into a certain environment, saying, to your friends, saying to your family, saying to you, whatchamacallit, this is what you want. But then you go in the opposite environment and pick your girl or your man out of the environment of the opposite of you say what you want. So you got to put yourself around the people, in the positions that you want to be put in, if that's that's the pool that you want to pull from. And then the other thing is, what that is, to both of y'all's point, I see a lot of love in the Black community. Now, I know there is hate in the Black community amongst relationships, but I also see a lot of love in it. And nobody wants to talk about the love. Everybody just wants to talk about the negative. And, you know, hurt people hurt people. So the hurt's going to be perpetuated and go around and around, while the love is always silent and quiet. But I believe, and again, I ain't done no statistics on it or whatever, but I believe from what I see and what my environment is, there's more love than hate between relationships with Black and Black people together, not interracial relationships or anything. I see Black love all the time. And again, we do have shows, or we had a show, I don't know if it's still out, Black Love, where they was going to different married couples and everything. And some of them wasn't married, but most of them was married, talking about how they met and just promoting the Black love. And that's just what we need in our community, because one thing we love to do is always talk about the negatives.
On which I appreciate you sharing. So Tanya, now I have this question for you. So I'm lucky enough, I do have a lot of women around me that don't mind sharing their, you know, being transparent and just telling them about like how it is dating or just seeing online. So I would have to ask you, like, when you get online, you see certain things, like, what's your true perspective? Like when you see the Black women or the Black men just spewing hate at each other, what's your thoughts?
It's hurtful. Even if you are just talking back about what Spears was saying, even if you are attention seeking, you need to get some healing for that. I do agree that we do see Black love, but for my particular environment, the negativity is a lot louder than the positivity. I would love to see it get a little bit closer to even. That would be nice. More love would be fantastic. But like, it's so crazy how as a plus size dark skinned woman, just scrolling through YouTube, interacting with videos, I've had an actual experience where I was asking a valid question about a video this man posted. And instead of responding to my questions, he's like, oh, big girls don't get married, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, but can we get back to my question? What did he say? Yo, you probably don't even date, this, that, and the third. I actually do a lot of dating. It's just like, instead of answering my question, and it kind of got to the point where I was like, so apparently you can't read past my weight. And it was to the extent that he apparently went to my channel, looked at some of my older videos to see what size I am, which is fine. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I love me, all of me. But if something isn't your cup of tea, pass on it. But you don't have to be malicious and rude. My dating experience, I change how I date now. When I meet men and they want to be like, how, what kind of man do you like? I don't have an answer for that. My answer now is, I just want to see who you are as a person. And then I can make a better decision than the decision I would have made when I was 30-something, 20-something years old, because I'm stopping and taking the time to really get to know you as a person, to then decide if I even want to be a friend with you, let alone an actual relationship. So I think if we would take accountability, slow down, get to know each other, stop trying to put everybody in a bucket. Like, we're not all the same. I can have a twin sister and we could look exactly alike and still be two completely different people. So I just think a lot of healing needs to take place. It's a lot of foolishness in these dating streets. There was a lady, Bria Webb, who talked about it's trash in these streets, and it is literal trash in the streets. But if you're getting to know a person, you're able to distinguish, oh, that's trash, and go on and cut that off and keep it moving.
I do
Yeah,
want
I
to say
appreciate
one thing real quick, Flake, because when Miss Tanya was speaking, it just jumped in my mind. A lot of times what we do too is we project the pain from our past on the presence of our future. And we got to stop doing that, because we hold people that we're dealing with now to the sins of our past partners and everything, and then we project it on them, and they ain't even done shit yet. They ain't even had a chance to fuck up, but we already projecting stuff and saying, oh, you doing this and that, when that ain't even the case. But that's what I had to say. Go ahead, Flake.
one little buddy that wouldn't answer your question. I believe he might have been a secret love. You know what I mean? If you do all that work to look up what somebody, gonna go to your YouTube, fly through your Instagram, they're gonna do all that, try to find out what you looking like. Oh, big woman done heard him before. That's what it was. You remind him of a previous girl he had that hurt his poor little feelings, that hurt little Randy. Little Randy, you just ain't built for me, baby. We're gonna have to let you go. And now he got all type of hate. If you put in that much work, oh, you a secret love.
Yeah.
But I do like one thing that you brought up is that we do have to heal. So for those, and let me get something straight. I'm not saying that the hate, there's none at all, but I don't think as much as they putting it on social media. But Spears, you made a point, and Tanya, you made a point as well, that Love Child had a song called Previous Cats. I mean, what is that?
Soul Child.
Music Soul Child, one of my favorites. He had a song called Previous Cats. You know what I mean? I love that song, by the way. I ain't responsible for the previous cats, you know what I'm saying, for everything you've done. So those are people who hadn't healed, because a lot of times when people, they break up from a bad breakup or something like that, they try to jump into the next one. You hadn't healed from the one that just happened. So when the other person says something or do something and they don't mean any harm at all, you automatically snap, because in your mind, you going back to what Randy did. You know what I mean? You going back to what Mike did. You going back what your baby daddy did, that you ain't been with him, but you got to see his face every other weekend or every weekend when he dropped the child off. Like you got, a lot of times we got to sit down and think about, what do I want out of this life? What do I want in this relationship? What is my next step? Oh, if I'm not completely over this, if a song still make my heart hurt, or the thought of it make a tear drop down my eye, you're not ready to move on. You're not ready to date. You're not ready to be in another relationship. You need to sit at the crib, watch whatever your favorite show is, go out with your homegirls, your homeboys, y'all go kick it, have a good time, get out, go on vacation. But if you hear that song Love, and all of a sudden that was y'all song, and you break down in your car, nah, player. Don't even make an attempt. Don't even make an attempt to take nobody serious.
Agree.
Now, I do have to ask this, and now if it's too much, just let me know. But I noticed when you presented the conversation, it was dark-skinned, bigger lady. Like, do you feel that society has made that like a thing that you even have to present it as such, or is it just, hey, this is Tanya speaking?
I feel that society has made it as such. I feel like the media probably drives a lot of that. Like, I don't have an issue with me. I love all of me. I love the color that God decided to give me. I find it interesting that people will use that as a disqualifier. Like, either way, whether you are, oh, I'm into light-skinned women, or, oh, I'm into dark-skinned men, or whatever it is, I think it's sad that we may use that as a disqualifier. I understand, and it is perfectly acceptable to have preferences. But again, if that's not your cup of tea, you don't have to speak on it. Like, I've heard negative, dark-skinned women this, dark-skinned women that. A woman is a woman is a woman is a woman. Whether she is black, white, green, yellow, or blue, you are going to have varying hormones, varying chemicals, varying emotions. Every person is an individual. And everything keeps going back, even when Spears just commented again, and Jay, everything keeps going back to we need to heal. Like, if you're healed, you choose from a different space than you do when you're still broken. Um, you will be triggered. It's never going to be perfect, but be adult enough to be able to have an actual conversation with the person and explain this particular thing is a trigger for me. And if you're comfortable, this is why. But yeah, I think we need to slow down and heal and have some real conversations with each other.
With
Thank
the
you,
real
Rob.
conversation. Oh, go ahead, Rose.
Yeah, no, I'm just about to say thank you for being vulnerable with that, but just to kind of lighten it before we go on anything else, for the ladies out there that like the dark skin man, you're all right with me. So that's all I got. Go ahead, Spirit.
I was just gonna say go ahead, Flake.
And for both sides, make sure the chemicals is right. All right, make sure the chemicals is adjusted right. make sure you go to the doctor. Make sure your chemicals is balanced correctly.
Absolutely.
Now, I was just gonna say with the communication part, I think society and technology has cultivated a society where people don't know how to communicate no more. Communication is a thing that people lack, and so therefore they only know how to lash. People don't know how to hold conversations. Again, when I was watching the episode from last week, and then Flake mentioned it briefly today, you know, can you sit down and have a conversation with me? Or are we just going straight to fucking Netflix and chilling and you know that? Or can we laugh and joke and, you know, can we talk about things that we like? Can we jump from politics to comedy to relationships to love and everything? Can we talk about current events and stuff like that? Can we talk about what our neighbors are doing or anything of that sort of, or how our day at work was without just saying I had a good day? Can you divulge actual information and details, or are you just short? And I think we lost how to communicate with, you know, back in the day, we had to remember a phone number, punch it in on a dial pad, call, you know, all this other stuff. Today, it's just so readily in your hand, quick, little whatever, 1, 2, and then that's it. And so I think if we got back to actually communicating and cultivating real relationships versus this fictional stuff and looking for society to mean so much to us versus our four walls and our corners and the people that's actually next to us, if we gave more to the people next to us than what we do on what so-and-so say on Instagram or YouTube or whatever the case may be, I think things would change. But again, we really have to do the work in order for things to change. And I don't think us as society as a whole is ready to do the work.
Spirits, think about it. Back then, we had to actually walk up to you. How you doing today? I like the dress you got on. I like the shoes you wearing, and hold a whole conversation with somebody.
Also, if we didn't walk up to them, we would write a long ass note and then hand it to them. But it still took something for us to do that versus just, hey, what's up? Let me jump in your DMs, and all of this other stuff.
Yeah, so you had to come in a proper manner, in a proper way. And you're right, we probably do need to get back to that, because it might be somebody, as far as looks wise, you might not have been interested in at first, but you end up sitting beside them at a bar or something and having a conversation. You're like, you know what? Hey, let's change numbers. Let's talk a little more. I'm a little bit interested in how your mind and how you think. But now I can just jump in the DM. I can jump on this date site, say whatever. If they say no, swipe right, go to the next one, say whatever, and see which one gonna bite on the fishing line. You know what I mean? So,
And then one more thing is, we don't have grace anymore. One fuck up and it's over. One black man fuck up, it's over for the whole black man community. Every black man a dog ass nigga. One black woman mess up or do something to you, it's black females are angry. They got these attitudes, all this other stuff. We don't have no grace or forgiveness no more, and that's another thing that plagues our dynamic in our community with dating. We got to understand, like Miss Tanya said, there's so many different emotions, hormones, everything that goes on in the plethora, in the diaspora of black women. Every black woman not the same, so we got to stop categorizing and putting an absolute on each other and each individual, because that ain't the same for everybody else.
I applaud you.
Yeah, it's that thing we always say. It's the trauma bonding. That's the easiest way to go. It's it's cool. It's safe. Everybody's it's the follower. I think the follower mentality is what you could tell the difference is like when you see these conversations, because like me and Flaker talked about it a little bit just before we even had the episode. It's just you will see people just hang on to the negative so often, and you rarely ever see somebody come on and say, you know what, me and this person isn't together, but I do appreciate this, what I learned from this woman or this man. And you don't get that. You just really, and it happens, don't get me wrong, but the negative stands out so much is because so many people can just hide behind a blanket statement of women ain't shit, men ain't shit. And I just think that that's why I don't take it serious and I don't get involved in it. I probably troll them before I would actually get involved with a real conversation, because in reality, we know y'all don't really want to do nothing but get a laugh or a giggle, because we see what it really is. Like you hurt behind that woman leaving you, you hurt behind that man leaving you. Just say that, and that's all right. But to get on here and act like it didn't matter, or oh now he was too short, or now his meat wasn't big. It's all the foolishness. Like you was around for 3 years for that. Like you a fool. Because I promise you, I ain't sitting around nothing if it ain't what it's supposed to be. You feel me? You made yourself look like a fool. But I just think people should just keep it real, man, and stay off the internet with some of that stuff and just find you a real circle to get past it, if that's truthfully your gift. But like I said, Tanya, I know you stated that you feel it's real. That's why I think it's just I don't take it serious. I mean, it's hard for me too. I guess because I'm not a person that's gonna put my business out there. I just you can't be serious. You got to be trolling somewhere. But do you have any questions for us? I mean, this is a safe space, but what's your thoughts? Like, do you have any questions for us? Do you want to know how we ignorantly think sometimes as men? Because we can be some damn fools. So that's just what it is, But any questions for us?
I don't have any particular questions. I like the conversation that we had tonight. I think grace is humongous. Like we've all said, the negativity is so loud. The media does like to put the fear and mongering tactics out and all of the division. I would like to ask your community, your subscribers, male and female, can we all just go heal, please? I think we would all be in a better space to function with one another. And I don't care how fantastic you think you are, it's something wrong with you that you could go talk to somebody about. Even if you don't want to necessarily do therapy, read some self-help books, pray, talk to your creator. We can always improve. We're constantly changing. We can always improve. Think twice before, like if it's a joke, that's one thing. Make sure it's funny. If it's a joke, but if you're just being an asshole just for the sake of being an asshole, because, and I agree with Jay about the guy who I had the interaction with on YouTube, like, don't be mad at me about what somebody else did because it's not fair to me. It's not fair to me. And then I can't do the same to you. So the other thing that I like to live by is I don't do nothing to nobody I don't want them doing to me. So can we be more accountable for everybody, not just men? Can we own up to our own stuff? And can we try to be better individuals every day that we get another day to see? So
now I do have a question. You've mentioned heal, so I'm almost guaranteed that somebody's gonna say Miss can we go heal was on point in the podcast, right? But what have you done, if you don't mind sharing, that has truthfully helped you understand that, like, yeah, I could get caught up in the negativity. Yeah, people are gonna have their own perception of me, but what has made you be able to be even this comfortable? Because I know there's plenty of people that will not come and sit with men because they're going to think that they're going to get what's in the comments, what's on, social media. We honorable men. But what have you done that really helped yourself?
Honestly, I had a mental breakdown. I had like some family issues go on a few years ago, and I had a mental breakdown, and I started therapy. And between therapy and like genuinely tapping into my relationship with God, the Creator, whomever you choose to serve, um, that has really changed my heart. My perspective has changed. You will not find me anymore saying, oh, talking bad about any kind of man as far as what he may or may not have, what he may or may not look like. Like, that man got his own struggle he got to go through just like I had mine. I had to change my perspective. It's like now I speak positively. I'm looking forward to the day that I meet the man that God created specifically for Tanya. I'm looking forward to the day that my girlfriends find the men that were created for them, because I'm not one of those women that think that, oh, all men are this or all men are that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I know there are good men out there, just like there are good women out there. We may seem like it's few and far between because it seems like the lesser thans do have more gusto and are more quick to approach. But I don't give up hope. I still got hope for my dreams. And that's something that I always wanted. And for me, I don't look at my breakdown as a bad thing. I had to break down, be broken to be rebuilt to get to where I am now. Now I'm love and light. Like, that's my energy. That's my aura. That's what I'm putting out into this world, and that's why it was so important for me to share on the podcast, because like that's part of my ministry. I'm an encourager. I inspire people to do things in their life, and we could do a lot better individually and as well as our community. And hopefully we'll start having more conversations like this where people can start seeing more positivity between Black men and women communicate.
I wish you had a mic, you could drop it, but no, I appreciate you for real for sharing that, because I mean, I'm currently in therapy, second and third time, so I completely agree with you in that space. But I will say this to you, because just of how you opened it, when I see Tanya, I'm gonna see somebody that's healed. I'm not gonna see dark skinned or plus size. Like, that's not how I would introduce you. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate your mindset and where you're coming from, because honestly, there's so much foolishness outside to where you would honestly think that people have either given up, society has their own perception of what beauty looks like, and I don't think that that's even a Black woman if we even want to go down that trail. But you know, I appreciate you sharing it, seriously, because it's actually good to hear. So appreciate you.
Nah, bro, it's a Black woman. It's just with white makeup. Because if you look at it, everything that they doing is trending towards the Black woman.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, but society is, yeah. I get you.
Yeah. So, but I was just gonna say one thing, because Tanya hit it on the head, but I'm gonna try to make it a little more taboo and for our people, stop chasing clits and dicks and seek God. So that's another thing people don't be doing. They don't be seeking their creator or whoever they worship or whoever they serve or whatever, and they always just looking for the next person to come heal them when they not even healed themselves. They want somebody to make up for their mishaps and mishandlings and, you know, discretions and everything, versus doing the work themselves. So that's all I gotta say after piggybacking off of what Miss Tanya said.
Every once in a while, you need that sexual healing spirits, man. You know, every once in a while, you just need to roll up on something for the night, man. And be like, whoo, got a little dust off this thing. I can reset.
hey, you know what? And that truthfully what it be. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, I'm thinking back to her the little dude that was talking about you probably don't even date. What he was trying to see if he can go on and be like, hey, like what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Applebee's got the $1 margaritas back. You want to pull up?
That's the same for women too. Sometimes we need a little knockoff as well. So
I tell you, you know, a little tune up ain't nothing bad. Ain't no wrong with a little tune up.
Yeah, ain't no wrong with that. Car need oil change every 3,000 miles so you can reset now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I do.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all.
I do got a question for you, Tanya. Now, you ain't got to answer. If you are doing this, you ain't got to answer what site you on. But I do wonder, are you on dating sites? Because I always hear the men perspective of the dating sites and how things go for them. But it ain't too many women that I get the information from. Like, I'm on the dating site, and this is what's going on there, this, that, and other. So if you are on dating sites, please tell me from your perspective, how is it going from the woman's side?
I am not currently on any dating sites, but I have online dated. It has been an interesting experience. I have had a relationship come out of online dating. I've met some really good guy friends that I'm still friends with to this day. You really gotta take your time and get to know a person. Like I don't think, me personally, I don't see online dating that much different from meeting somebody at Walmart. My cousins and my family mess with me a lot because I meet a lot of men like at the grocery store, at the gas station, and stuff like that. But like you still got to go through the process of getting to know them. At least if I meet you online, I can Google your picture and check and see, you know, if you are who you say you are, if you're really single, because that's another thing. These folks is wilding. The married folk. Oh, I'm not gonna get on that. But I don't think it's any
Hold on,
different.
Tanya. They might be looking for a sister wife, Tanya. Now you can't discredit. They might be
For a sister wife, then you need to say, I am looking for a sister wife, because there are women out there who do not have a problem with being a sister wife. However, Sister Tanya would not be one of them. So don't lie to me. Don't waste my time. Move forward. Like, there are certain conversations that I ask men pretty much within the first few conversations, because there are certain things that if you're on, I'm not interested. I can't even, like, and then we can have, I just met a guy that way. Really nice looking guy. Software developer, nice home, all the good things. Our sexual preferences would not align. But I'm still we're really good friends. You know, he's a great friend. He's a good guy. Just because it may not work as a relationship don't necessarily mean that it might not be a good friend. But you just gotta slow down and take your time. I hear there's a lot of sex sales on the online websites. I hadn't run across that. I don't know, but that is what I've heard from the media.
Watch yourself now, Tanya. You started telling us something. Keep talking now. Keep talking, because I ain't heard nothing about that. Yeah.
Tell you the information that, like, my overall experience when I have online dated. A lot of men do mention that there are a lot of women trying to get some money through various means online. So yeah, obviously that lady is not looking for a man. She's looking for a wallet. So why would you spend your time trying to look for a woman?
I can vouch for that. I had somebody tell me that too. A dude that do online dating. Like, they done ran across some women that after them first little couple of conversations, like they put the fish hook out there. And then they be like, you want to come on through, you slide for this hot 75. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's out there for real.
So I do have a question though. You don't have to expound too much, but sexual preferences not aligned. What do you mean by that?
He was a super freak.
That's not the problem.
Was it like poly? Was he in the poly?
No, he liked for things to be put in his butt.
Oh no, we good.
Oh,
No, no, ma'am. No,
I
ma'am.
know, don't cut off. Don't cut off.
No.
Out there like
Hold on, because I need to fix my face because I'm thinking that it was a man with money and he just won't like pilot, like he wants.
Me too.
Women.
That's why I
wouldn't
said super freak. I thought
Yeah,
he wanted.
so
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah. So yeah, if he out, yeah. I mean, by all means, if y'all want to listen, cool. I got you. I thought it was he wanted multiple women.
He gonna find one of them. Don't worry about it. He gonna find somebody who want to do that for sure.
Oh well.
It's gonna be me. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Hey,
Think about you.
that's a whole different conversation for a different.
That's why I said I don't want to blow it going towards that, but I thank you again for you just letting us know what's going on out here. Ooh wee.
Yeah, that's out here for sure. Not me, but that's out here. But now Tanya, I'm gonna need you to erase my thoughts a little bit because last episode I have a thought of men will have 5 things they looking for in a woman.
Okay.
And they'll take 4 out of the 5 and be like, we can work on the 5th. Or they'll take the 80-20 rule. Now I'm under pressure, and this is my thoughts. And I want you to erase my thoughts. If women have 5 or 6 things they're looking for in a man, that's it. They not bending from them 5 or 6. They not, if it's 6 of them and he got 4.5, they not taking the 4.5. It's either all 6 or nothing. So I'm sure you have your list of things that a man has to have. Does it bend a little bit? Can he have 80? Can he have 90? And then y'all work on whatever that remaining is.
One, that depends on the person, obviously. For myself, another thing that I do now when dating, I pray, like as soon as I meet a person, God, is it okay for this person to be in my life? If
that's
not,
heavy. That's heavy. We put a pop. That's heavy right there.
Any person. And he always shows me immediately. Now, in my past, I may not have paid attention or didn't want to see the signs, like his answer to my prayers, when he answered it clearly, loudly, and I may have chosen not to hear it. For me, like there are just certain things that I do have to have. It's not a physical thing, it's not a financial thing, but there are, like, you gotta submit to God. You got to submit to God. You gotta love God's people. You can't be out here no jerk dude, like for me. So there are certain things for Tanya that are more moral based, whereas for somebody else, their list may have more finance on it, less spirituality. So for me, it depends on what the Lord say. It depends on what he say. If he say it's a go, it's a go. If he say no and everything start getting weird, it's a no. So I'm not stuck to a list. I like to flow with life. You never know what's gonna happen. Like the Tyler Perry movies we see, them women be like, nah, I don't want that man. I don't want that man, but that man be the best thing for him. And vice versa. So yeah, I don't necessarily have a list. I go to my father and ask him.
I think it'd be the wigs in them Tyler Perry movies on why they don't be wanting. I think that'd be it.
Hey,
but that was heavy. I appreciate that response. That was heavy. I didn't know that's the route we was going, but I appreciate you going around because that was real heavy, man. That and you dropped some jewels right there for real.
Yeah, because that spirituality over finance made me look at myself. Like, you feel me? Like you got to be very, very in tune with that. It got to align with you. It just can't be good for just right now, like long term. So that's I like that for real.
And that's what a lot of people missing, because I know Flake said it last week. If you go for broke, she gonna stay with you or she gonna pray with you. And that's what you need. You need somebody who's gonna pray with you and stay with you versus just, oh, you go for broke, she out the door. So that finances are fleeting. They come and they go, especially with the way that the society is and economics and stuff. You could be on one day, you could be off another. But if somebody there who love you and who is there for you, they're gonna be there because they understand that this is a God thing. This is a union. This is a covenant. If you get to marriage, but even before the marriage, like y'all are equally yoked. So then, therefore, y'all are for each other, and it's not about the material shit that society says it's about. It's not about the cars, the houses, the rings, and the jewelry, and catching flights. It's about, can you keep me from being spiritually attacked from the enemy? Can you keep people from praying on me and praying for my downfall and for my demise? Can you encourage me not to maybe go back to my old ways if something do happen and, do something that could jeopardize the whole family or just my freedom? Like, are you going to be there for me through the thick and thin? And that's one thing that I do admire about the old ways. A lot of times we complain and we say old heads don't know stuff or old heads whatever, but that's one thing I do admire about the older generation, from my parents and grandparents and everything, because they really got that part down. And in today's society, we didn't let the World Wide Web take over. And as the saying goes, and this normally goes for jokes, but this goes true in real life with the way that the society and the world is going, the internet is undefeated. Because it's ruining people, it's ruining relationships, it's causing mass depression, it's causing mass, just crazy things. So that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, but did anybody? Yeah, go ahead, Flake. You on mute.
I was just gonna say in close. Did anybody have anything else before we put a pin on it?
Great conversation, Miss Tanya. We definitely gonna have to have you back. And yeah, we definitely gonna have to have you back for sure.
Be happy to join
you. Yeah.
Let me say this. Hey, these folks out here talking about some knowing what the big women and dark skinned women, what they say about love and dating. And when you go to Pornhub, they do have a section for that. And them videos be having millions of views. So we not finna act like ain't nobody out here loving it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Drake been singing about BBW since he came out. You hear me? So we ain't finna fake the fuck. What we ain't finna do. Spirits, I'm not sure if you have the Black Business Minute of the Week, but my supremely Black person is a Black entrepreneur in Atlanta.
Skip me though?
No, I'm not skipping you. I'm asking.
Okay. I do have something I'm putting into that because again, the topic that we had for the conversation today and everything, I did have a Black Business Minute, but I wanted to share the light on something because this was something that I wanted to talk about before I seen the chat and everything.
Okay.
There's been a couple of shootings at some HBCUs, Bowie State and Morgan State University. And so I just want to share a light on that and just speak love and positivity and tell people, there's different ways, there's just different options. Stop being afraid to get your ass whooped and get out there and throw them hands if it comes to that, if it's to that point. But as a person who's been shot on multiple times and everything, and seeing life taken and all this other stuff, that's just not, especially at a HBCU where you're supposed to be a college campus, where it's supposed to be some of the best years of your life, that's just not something that we want to hear about, something that we want to be reading about. And to be honest, that's that white people shit. Leave that shit for the white folks. We have to find different avenues, different methods. We need to heal. We need to find different resources. And again, there's nothing wrong with throwing them hands, because at least when you throw them hands, you might get a ticket, you might go to jail or whatever, but you living, and that next person living too. But you ain't gonna be 20 years to life in prison your life over, and then doing what Miss Tanya said, liking it from a different way. So, you know, we're gonna be mindful of that. You got to think about the consequences and repercussions of your actions. So, to Bowie State University, to Morgan State University, our love, our support, and our prayers go out to y'all. We hope that y'all community gets the healing that it needs. We hope that if anybody is traumatized or going through some type of pain from that you get the help and the healing that you need. And we just pray for y'all community and for them beautiful Black kids that's on that campus, and for the administration too, for the administration that's on that campus. And we just pray for healing. So that's my Black Business Minute for this week.
And shout out to Morgan State. My understanding, they had some mothers that came up there to, you know, give hugs and talk to some of the kids, mothers who couldn't make it up there. So shout out to those moms that came up there to get support to those kids who needed, who parents couldn't be up there or not close by. They can't, you know, just make an hour drive or 2 hour drive to check on their kids. So man, outstanding job by those moms. All right. Our Supremely Black Person of the Week is Derek Bailey Green. He is the first African American that has his automotive shop that does electric cars. He has new electric cars that will be coming out. He is located in Atlanta, Georgia. He also has it where you can take your old car, if you got an old box Chevy, an old Camaro or something like that. He said, drop it off with me a week. It'll be a gas guzzler when you drop it off, but when you pick it up, it's gonna be 100% electric car. So man, shout out to him and his business. If you want to check out his website, you can go to derekautomotive.com. That's DEREK automotive.com, right there in Atlanta, Georgia. He's an entrepreneur. And man, he's doing great work from the research and everything I've seen. So if you want to buy an electric car, get your built electric car, take one of your old school cars and make it an electric car. Man, please check out their website and make sure you check out Derek Bailey and get your work done and get that taken care of. All right. All right. We talked about healing a little bit. So I got a motto. I hadn't even spoke about it on here, which is fly. As first, love yourself. Because come fly with us, get your healing, get taken care of. Because if you don't love yourself first, you can't love nobody else. You can't take care of your kids, can't love your mama, your daddy, and of course, you can't build a relationship with somebody else. So, with that being said, for all our queens out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side, let them know you are a queen. For all our kings out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side, and let them know you are a king. We are supremely black. Yeah.